Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make NBA DFS content, sportsbook, anything you can think of, I do make content for. All these videos they get posted to this Reddit right here. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You can ask me questions leading up to lock, after lock about the slates. So I'll have that link down below. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter right here. So we'll get into my lineups from the past couple days. As always, if you're looking for more in-depth content, I will have my Discord link down below. And then yeah, let's get into my lineups from tonight and yesterday. I got Torch tonight, Quentin Grimes, and Tobias Harris and Tyrese Martin. Bubbled with those three. Fun stuff. What was the cash line? Like 280? I guess it didn't bubble. 290, whatever. But yeah, fun stuff. Worst core of the season I think I had tonight was Tyrese Martin, Quentin Grimes, SGA, and Nick Smith Jr. who I had in my other lineup. Where is my other lineup? Other lineup. Where is it? I guess I don't have it up, but I have him in my other lineup. I basically just played Ty Jerome over him in this lineup. But yeah, worst core of the season for me by far. So didn't cash with the lineup tonight. Yesterday had a pretty good day. Did cash. Core did great yesterday. Went with KCP, Anthony Black, Anthony Davis. Khalil Ware was my core for yesterday. So fantastic core yesterday. Worst core of the season today. I also got my temporary crowns put on today because I got a root canal and it's really bothering me with like heat sensitivity, cold sensitivity. When I talk, the air going in my mouth, it's really bothering me. So I apologize if I talk weird. That is the reason why. Let's go over the slate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 game slate for tomorrow. We have bad matchup here going up against Orlando. Depends on Orlando news as well. They could be pretty thin here again with the whole team questionable. Goga Patate doubtful. So yeah, got to keep it on Aiton Simons and Tamani Kamara. Donovan Clinton's going to remain out. If we get all these guys out, I think there's going to be some plays here. First off, Denny, he would start. He would play big minutes. Would be firmly in play as a GPP play for me. I don't think like any of these guys would be must for me, but they'd be firmly in play in GPPs. I think Denny would be your top option if we're disregarding price points here. Going to stuff the stat sheet. Good rebounder. Yeah, would have no issue. Going to play the entire game. Scoot Henderson going to play big minutes at 6.6K. I'd prefer Denny, but Scoot would be firmly in play. Shaden Sharp off the bench at 5'8", should see around 30 minutes. More of a large field play. Jeremy Grant I would kind of like quite a bit for value if everyone's out. Just too cheap of a price point. And then Delano Banton, he'll get a little bit more run, would be a viable value. Robert Williams would get some run. I don't think it would be necessary on this type of slate. And then if we get like everyone in, then I think I don't know if I'm going to go to anyone. Denny, I would assume, would go back to the bench. I'd assume they keep Scoot in the starting lineup. Tamari Kawara will go back in the starting lineup. I don't know if I'll be running the roster pretty much anyone here if anyone's in. I think I full cross off this team. Maybe some interest in like DeAndre Ayton at 6.4K or Jeremy Grant at 5.1K. Just because I think the price point's a little bit too cheap regardless. Bant would be out of play for me. So yeah, if everyone's in, there wouldn't be much here. Ayton and Grant would be my favorite plays. Now I think there's a good amount to like here on the Orlando side. If everyone's out here, Goga Patate doubtful, Cole Anthony questionable, Franz upgraded to questionable. If we get everyone out in that same situation, Orlando is going to be a team you're definitely going to want to interest in. First off, Paolo. I would absolutely love him in a fantastic spot. Got up to 32 minutes. Stuff in the stat sheet. He's basically running point for this team right now. He had a ton of potentials last game. Just didn't convert. I would love Paolo Banchero if everyone's out. Wonder Carter Jr. still a really good play, even at 6.3K. What else do I like? Anthony Black at 5.4K. Still grayed out as a decent point per dollar play. Would like him. Keep it on the Isaac news. If Isaac's out, I like Tristan Da Silva just because he's going to play a ton of minutes. He'll get some backup 5 run as well. So he'd be a good value. KCP I would like for value. Queen would be playable. So there would be a good amount to like here in Orlando if everyone's out. Now, if we get like Cole Anthony in, I don't expect Franz to play, but if we get like Franz in, less excited about the main guys. But if we get like Cole in, Franz out, then yeah, I like some Cole. I still really like Banchero. I still think Wendell Carter Jr. is playable. Just hurt Anthony Black at that price point, and then hurt Silva, KCP. They wouldn't be as good of plays, and they're priced up. So like, there would be nothing crazy here if Cole Anthony plays as far as like value goes. Another team I love tomorrow. Great spot going up against Atlanta. I absolutely love Scotty Barnes. I think he's one of my favorite plays in the board tomorrow. Running the point for this team, great rebounder, has triple double upside, fantastic matchup. I love Scotty Barnes tomorrow. I really like RJ Barrett as well. I think the top two guys both look great here. Jakob Poeltl in a fine spot, not the best matchup, but playable. He got benched last game, got into foul trouble as well. Reasonable price point. I think he's a good point per dollar play. What else do we have here? Grady Dick, going to see around 30 minutes. A great spot for him. Atlanta, they give up a ton of catch and shoot stuff. He looks like a pretty good value. Bruce Brown's playable. Davion Mitchell's to see around 30 minutes. I don't mind him as a playable value. So I think there is a decent amount to like here on Toronto for tomorrow. Let's move on to Atlanta. Great spot here. Sub 10K. Trae Young, I know he had a bad game tonight, but I'm fine going back to him. I played him in one lineup tonight. Another stat sheet stuffer. He was in a tougher matchup tonight. Detroit, they're tougher against facilitating. Toronto, they are not. So I'm fine going right back to Trae Young. I love Trae Young tomorrow. It's a back-to-back here. Keep it on if like Jalen Johnson sits or not. Good. Assuming he plays, I would assume he's full go. Great matchup here. So both the top two guys look good here. Dyson, too pricey for my liking. Also another back-to-back. How many minutes DeAndre Hunter play tonight? So we could have a couple guys sit here, 30 minutes. I'm not sure if he's played a back-to-back yet, but I'm less excited about him anyway. I think a Okongwu looks pretty damn good in a great matchup, so a Okongwu looks great. I really like Trae Young. I think Jalen Johnson's really good. Not as excited about the other value plays here, though, but these two games look pretty damn solid to me. Moving on to Miami, not the best matchup here, but Jimmy Butler's going to remain out. Tyler Herro's probable. I mean, yeah, good spot going up against the Bucks. The Bucks, they give up a ton of points to opposing point guards. Going to play huge minutes. No Butler gets a usage bump. I have no issue with Herro tomorrow. I think it's a good play. Bam Adebayo in a tough matchup. Less interested there. I think I'd rather play Tyler Herro. Khalil Ware, I mean, incredible. Just incredible. I'm expecting him to continue to start and play huge minutes. I really like him, even at this price point. I don't even think he's going to be Giga Chalk tomorrow. We shall see. But, yeah, really like Ware. Terry Rozier, fine. Duncan, everyone else is priced up here. If we get Jamie in the starting lineup, he'd be a good point per dollar play. Not less excited about like the Jovic, the Roziers, the Duncans. I guess Terry's fine, but Jamie would be the play for me, assuming he starts. They could always go back to like Highsmith. I believe was Highsmith out of the lineup last game. I want to say he was. Yeah, he was. They could always go back, but I would assume it would just be Jamie. Moving on to the Bucks, yeah, Giannis always going to grade out as one of the best spin-ups on the board. Personally, for me, I like that mid-range with like Scotty Barnes, Paolo Banchero, RJ Barrett, Trae Young, but always going to be a great spin-up. I think Dame at 8.5K is a little bit too cheap. Fine spot for him, Miami. They do give up a decent amount of three-point shooting. That's kind of what Dame does, right? Volume shooter, so I don't mind that. I think that's fine. Chris Middleton at 5'6" should see 25-ish minutes. I think he's getting to the price point to where I think he should be. The problem is, like, if he gets any ownership, he doesn't really have a ceiling that's going to absolutely kill you at this price point. So, not a must. Brook Lopez is fine at 5.2K. Don't mind him. And then, not going to get into the value. I think Bobby Portis is pretty good. I think the bigs, Giannis, Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, probably my favorite plays on D-Box. All right, Luka going to remain out. Derek Lively, I would assume, is going to be out for tomorrow. We got to keep an eye on Clay, Najee Marshall. If they're both out, they just have to play Daniel Gafford a ton of minutes if those two guys are out because they don't have any wings. Like, they really have no wings. Like, that's why you saw Prosper start tonight and Maxi Kleber get a bump. They just have to play Daniel Gafford a ton of minutes if these guys remain out. So I would expect them to play. Like, I would expect Clay, Najee Marshall to play. But if they do remain out, just know Gafford's going to play all the minutes he can handle and still be a solid point per dollar play. Peter Washington at 6'6", fine. I think I prefer Gafford. Kyrie Irving in a really bad matchup. Has a ceiling. Had a good game tonight. Nobody played him. Would always be an intriguing GPP play for me. Then if everyone's out, yeah, I think Quentin Grimes is a good value. I know he had a really bad game tonight, but that was a bit of an outlier. And then if Prosper starts, he's playable. And if we get everyone in, less excited about the values. Think Gafford you could probably get away from, especially if it's going to be chalky. Minutes a little bit less secure with those guys in. They have more wings, right? They can play Cleveland backup 5. So, yeah, wouldn't be anything I'd love here if everyone's in. Moving on to OKC, another back-to-back here. Could see some guys sit. Like, J-Dub is coming in on a questionable tag. We could see him sit tomorrow. Isaiah Joe sat the game tonight. Keep an eye on it, but, yeah, SGA has been phenomenal. I played him tonight. I think he's a great spend up tomorrow. Just doing everything for this team right now with no Hartenstein, no Chet Holmgren. J-Dub's decent too. I have no issue there. I think he's a pretty safe play in the mid-range, assuming he plays. Jalen's getting to the price point where I think he should be. I'm not going to mess with the value. I think Lou Dort's playable. Aaron Wiggins started tonight, but they're all priced up. I think Dort would be my favorite there. Moving on to Sacramento. Good spot here for Domantas Sabonis. I mean, what he does, he rebounds. Denver, they give up a ton of rebounds. Jokic, give up a ton of rebounds to opposing centers. You could see him go for like a 20-20 game tomorrow, and I wouldn't be shocked. So, like Sabonis there, another back-to-back we could see guys sit. Just always be wary of that. Looking at the price points for the rest, I think Keegan at 5K is okay. I'm not going to mess with like Keanu Ellis, Kevin Huerter, those types, Trey Lyles. I guess Trey Lyles is fine if we don't have more value opening up. And then, yeah, I mean, I think Monk is okay. I think De'Aaron Fox is good, but I think the main standout for me personally is Domantas Sabonis. Like, I definitely sprinkle in some like Monk, DeMar, Fox, and like large field GPPs. I'm not going to go out of my way to play him, but no issue there. Same thing with Giannis. Jokic is always good, like I say, always going to be one of the best spenders on the board. We don't have to go, too in depth there. Sacramento, their one good thing on defense, transition defense. That's about it. Jamal Murray at 7-2. It's just too cheap, man. I'm expecting him to be somewhat popular tomorrow. I think it's for good reason. Should play mid 30s minutes. This game should stay hopefully competitive. It's just too cheap of a price point. So, like Jamal there, Westbrook 6-2. Me, Michael Porter Jr. at 5-7. Good spot for him. Should play mid 30s minutes. I think he's a little bit too cheap. So like a Michael Porter Jr. a little bit. And then Aaron Gordon at 4.2K should see around 20 minutes, a playable value now that the price point's down. And then Braun is fine. No standouts here for value. Another game I think we had to have a little bit of interest in, especially on the Warriors side. So Io is doubtful tomorrow. Kobe White is questionable. If we get those two guys out, what you're going to see is you're just going to see Josh Giddey have to play a lot of minutes. Lonzo Ball started. Then you're going to see a condensed rotation. Patrick Williams would have to play a bit more. And Taylor Horton Tucker would be the main guy off of the bench. So if that's the case for tomorrow, I like THT quite a bit for value. I think Paul would be a good value. Lonzo, I'd like also for value. So these three value plays would be pretty good to me. Josh Giddey would be super safe. Like I said, stat sheet stuffer, good rebounder, triple-double upside. He would have to play big minutes. He'd be a good point per dollar play. Vooch should be able to feast. I don't mind him. Levine, I like quite a bit as well. So Chicago would look pretty good to me if those two guys are out. If we get Kobe in, then I'm less excited about like Levine, Lonzo Ball, Patrick Williams, Taylor Horton Tucker. I think my favorite play would just be like Zach Levine, because that news does change a lot with Chicago. All right, I'm expecting everyone to remain out. That's out tonight for tomorrow. So if that's the case in a fantastic matchup, you have to like a lot here. Steph, I love at 8.8K. Andrew Wiggins, I really like. Kevon Looney started tonight. If he starts again, I love him. What else do we have here? What else? Am I missing something? I don't think I'm missing anything. Just check the minutes real quick. So Looney's just barely playing. That's just fantastic. Fun because I took his props. That's just amazing. But yeah, if Looney starts, love him. Trey should get more run. Really like Andrew Wiggins. Think Steph Curry's a great play. If you want to go to like Dennis Schroeder, Buddy Hield, fine. But there'll be a lot to like here on the Warriors. Moving on to Boston. So I would expect everyone in tomorrow. I think it was pretty obvious they were sitting tonight. So expect all these guys in here. And with everyone in, I think Tatum is just too cheap at 9.8K. I think Brown's a little bit too cheap. I like Porzingis at 6.9K, and then not too excited about like Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, with everyone in. I think Drew's a little bit too cheap, but this game should stay competitive, so that's why I'm not too excited about Pritchard. Although a great matchup, he could torch it. He could play 30 minutes if he's running a bit hot there. Lakers, really bad spot here, so really don't like Reeves. I think LeBron and AD are both good, but I think I like the other mid-range spin-ups that we have gone over. You couldn't pay me to play this value. So this game, pretty easy to talk about, and this game will be somewhat easy to talk about as well, because I expect those clips to be in for tomorrow. So yeah, really bad matchup. Clippers really good defensively, so I'm not excited to run out of my way to roster like Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma, although they do seem a little bit too cheap. I think Cooley's fine. Sar, I kind of like at 5.5K, but there's really not much here. Jonas is playable. Bub, fine value. Kispert, playable. Really nothing amazing. And then, yeah, I'm expecting all these guys in for tomorrow. Potentially no Zubac, I suppose, but I would expect everyone in for tomorrow on this back-to-back here. So yeah, if everyone's in, Kawhi was rest right as well. I guess we could see Kawhi sit too. So if we get like Kawhi and Zubac out, then yeah, Harden looks fantastic. Would be one of my more favorite spend ups on the slate. Norm Powell, I'd love, and then should get more run for the value. Got to keep an eye on like Batum, Dunn. That could change things. It's really hard to say right now. But I do fully expect at least two of these guys to play. Zubac, Kawhi, we'll see. I'm not sure if anything came up on Underdog. So hard to say right now, but I think there could be some interest in the Clippers tomorrow. And as always, I'll make updates on Reddit when we do get news and stuff like that throughout the day. It changes a lot throughout the slate, so I'll keep you guys updated there. Hope you guys had a good night, and I will talk to you all later.